Thank you, capacity crowd. Well done. Well done. Don't wear yourselves out too quickly because there's a lot to come tonight. Welcome to this week's edition of Life's a Pitch TV. I'm Mark Murphy. If you're watching on YouTube, hello. If you're listening on podcast, hello as well. Let me introduce you to the team. Terry Butcher's here. Hey! Russell Osman's over there. Hey! And Phil Ham's over there. Hey! Richard's on technicals. Leslie's our floor manager. And you are our capacity crowd. Well done. Massive thank you to those that help us make the show. Our main sponsor is DPS Tech. Also, big thanks to All About Hearing, marketing company Ginger Pickle, Forward Floors, Come Hither Design, the Hudson Group, Sound 4 Pro Audio, Venue 16, Fred Olsen Logistics, John Keeble Cars in Bramford, and now the Dove in Ipswich as well. Sponsoring Life's a Pitch TV. I don't think there's anything left, boys, to sponsor, is there?
I'm sure we can find something.
How about the sofa?
Oh, yes, we could, yeah. We could get some signage along the front here. I'm sure we could,
I'm sure we could. Very good.
What we have is a gap, though. We need our special guest this week. Please make some noise for a former ball boy at Ipswich Town. He's gone on to great things. Former world darts champion, massive Town fan. It's only Keith Della! Great to see you, Keith. Welcome to the show, my friend. Wow, you've been a fan since you were a little boy of Town, then?
That's right. I'm a Chantry boy, Chantry Estate. Very lucky that at them days we had some, brilliant teams, and I think I was one of the lucky ones that was spoilt. Watching obviously Terry and Russell, and then a few years before we had some bad times, but now we're back and we're going to keep going.
Yeah, we certainly are. Come on, that deserves a round of applause. They need warming up a little bit, don't they, I think, tonight? Definitely. We've got lots to talk about this evening. And you've a huge history with Ipswich Town over time. We've got your darts to talk about and everything as well. So we really look forward to having you as a guest tonight. How are you at Keep Me Uppies, Keith?
Oh, my God.
Did we mention this to you?
Has anyone got 0 yet?
Yes.
I'll definitely get 1. I know that.
All right.
I'll get 1.
You're going to be a sport later on, are you?
No, I'll go for
it. Fantastic. Fantastic. Brilliant. Brilliant. So let's talk first of all about Ipswich Town at the moment, because we did have a game called off the other day, and that was extremely frustrating on Friday, Phil Ham, for lots and lots of fans, wasn't it? The away game to Rotherham. I know the flooding here was bad, but maybe that could have been called off a little bit earlier. A lot of travelling fans up there.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of fans who couldn't travel, of course, because the coaches didn't even make it from, I think, Mendlesham to Portman Road to take fans to Rotherham. So I think actually had a bit of a lucky escape. I made it as far as Kettering before I heard that it was called off, and I know other reporters. So, but clearly, a lot of people were already there because they left early because they thought it was going to be a very trying journey. But as you say, it was an interesting situation that the pitch was fine. But, of course, the river burst its banks. But you would have thought the authorities would have realised that, given the sort of level of flooding, that the river would burst its banks. And they probably should have called it off in the morning to save those of us who made the trip making half a trip, as we did.
How far did you get?
Kettering.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Yeah.
Lovely. Anybody else been to Kettering? No. Not a place necessarily to go to, is it really?
No.
Got nothing to do, just have a little drive up there.
We'll drive to Kettering and back.
Sail the boat.
Yeah, and we had one a couple of years ago, didn't we, which was postponed at Shrewsbury. I literally walked through the concourse, and one of the stewards said, "I reckon you ought to turn around, mate. They're just calling it off." It was literally a case of turning up and just driving straight back home again. So
that's a shame.
Been a few of those. Yeah.
That's a real shame. I'm only glad it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I think sometimes they say, for the supporters' safety, the pitch is perfectly playable, and they're worried about the safety of the supporters getting there. Surely most supporters are old enough and capable enough of looking after themselves going to a game of football.
They might have drowned, though. That's the problem on Friday.
But that's of their own choice.
I think the issue on Friday was the fact that one side of the kind of entrances to the ground, the sort of the roads around the ground were underwater, and so it made it all but impossible, really. But but I know what you mean.
But they do use it regularly. If they call a game off through any sort of bad weather, too icy. The car park was a bit too icy.
I think they do go over the top sometimes with
they
these
do
things.
go a little bit.
But I think
forward.
in that case, I think they probably should have kind of realised. I don't think it's down to Rotherham United. I think it's down to the safety advisory group and people like that who kind of oversee these things to sort of realise that if it's going to rain all day very hard and rivers that are already kind of at the top level, that they're going to burst their banks.
Yeah, I'm sure the club, rather than themselves as a club, wanted the game on as much as we did.
They did, because they were embarrassed, weren't they? Because
yeah.
in March they had that game against Cardiff that was abandoned at half time because it was, and of course they had loads of work done over the summer on their pitch, much like we did, and so they were sort of going on about how, oh yeah, pitch is fine, absolutely fine. Unfortunately, the rest of the town was underwater.
Does this ever happen in darts, Keith? Is this a problem in darts or not?
The
Been
only
rained off? Leaky roof somewhere, maybe? I don't know.
No, the only way a darts tournament will be called off if the bar's not open on time. Because it normally opens about an hour before, unless you've got your own bar. But no, seriously.
It'd be rioting.
The only way it could be, I mean, years ago we had the World Semi-Final, and that was Wingate when Adrian Lewis, who I was managing at the time, he was in the World Semi-Final against James Wade. And the problem was Ali Pali is such an old place that the first semi-final went to a tie-break. So the second semi-final, live on Sky Sports, the wind started coming in, and the guy that was supposed to close it had already gone home to bed. So and that was a problem. And then
Bit of wind in the crowd.
Yeah, there was a lot of wind. But James Wade was like, I don't know, 4-1 up, winning easy.
You were telling me about you're over in America, and the air conditioning came on, and then your darts started to move.
Well, it's the hotels we used to play in Vegas. That'd be one of the hotels, could be Venetian, and then in one of their function rooms, like big rooms, the air conditioning comes on, and your flight's just getting like that. And I was playing in the final,
The
final as well.
That's a
against
great
Alan
excuse,
Warner.
that, Keith.
It's not
Great
very good.
excuse.
It's not very good when your flights go like that, is it?
No,
really?
it wasn't, I'm afraid.
I found that out to my cost as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get Jimmy Anderson in. Jimmy Anderson.
Well, Gary Anderson's all right. He throws a bit harder, but mine were like 18-gram darts. So 18-gram darts, and then that air conditioning come on, and I lost the final. I should have won. I made a big mistake, mind you, because we were playing a game called Tactics. So if you get three single 20s, and then it's your throw, you've got to get 3 to close that number. If not, I can score points. And unfortunately, it was Russ Bray, who was my best mate, was standing where I couldn't see it properly. And I've gone treble 19, treble 19, treble 19. I've gone get in all over. They were already closed, the numbers. And Russ went 0. I went, what? And I lost the game then. So I still blame the win, but I blame Russ as well.
Yeah, blame the air conditioning in Las Vegas. Time to take a look at the season so far, because lots to talk about, especially the game down in Bristol this week, brought to you in association with the Dove in Ipswich. So, boys, you watched the game last night?
Yep, certainly did.
Yep.
Good first half.
Slow start.
Should have got more,
wasn't it?
maybe?
Yeah, it was a slow start by Town, and you sort of thought, well, Bristol are really up for this. And you could see, you were saying earlier about the boys looked a bit rusty and a little bit unsure because the routine has been broken. Okay, your footballers and you're primed to train and play as well. But if you're not sharp, you haven't had the games, then or the training for it, then you're a little bit rusty, a little bit tense. But they soon got into it, and when they got into it, I thought they dominated the first half, really, apart from one save from Clegg. He had top right-hand corner.
Yeah.
But I thought they dominated.
Yeah, they were good. I thought we had some good performances last night, especially in the first half. Again, Cameron Burgess, playing your old role, Terry, there, left side centre-half. I think he's doing a terrific job at the moment. Yeah,
he didn't score an own goal like I did, but I thought, for me, I've got Broadhead or Burgess as man of the match, but I thought Burgess didn't do anything wrong at all.
No, he's very good. Broadhead, again, if you turn the situation on its head with the Broadhead goal, you think it's such a great goal from Ipswich Town's point of view. And if you look at it from the Bristol City point of view, you would be disappointed in how slow they were to actually realise what was going on the edge of their 18-yard box. But, while teams hesitate, we are good enough to capitalise on that, and we've got some lads that can really finish really well at the moment.
And we create so many chances, don't we?
We do.
We are, the way we play and the number of chances we create, we are going to score one at some point, be it Broadhead or Chaplin or so many players that are sharp around the penalty area.
Yeah, and then as the game goes, you get into the last 20 minutes away from home, and unless you're a couple of goals clear, it's always going to be tough. And they're just showing they've got some resolution there now, Terry, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I mean, they finished the game well, just like Southampton away as well. It was not a comfortable victory because Bristol City had to throw men at it. They had to throw the subs on. They had to go for it. And they certainly put Town under pressure. But I thought they stood up very well, apart from the one instance when the ball went along the goal line. And I think everybody had their hearts in their mouth then and thinking, oh my goodness me, how can we...
It was a good job there wasn't Vegas air conditioning in that team.
Yeah, right.
Swept the ball in.
But the other thing, you had that spell where they had a number of chances, but then Kieran McKenna made a number of changes, didn't he? Brought on Don Ball and one or two others. Yeah. And actually, the last 5 minutes or so, we were very, very comfortable, I thought. We didn't really threaten at all.
Well, he used 3 out of 5 subs, didn't he? Yeah. So, interesting. But again, we spoke about something earlier on in the season. How many chances did Leif Davis have?
Yeah.
He gets in some great goal-scoring positions. And I said, if he can actually start converting one or two of those chances that he gets, then he could end up with 10 to a dozen goals this season.
I don't think he scored this season.
No, I don't think he has. He scored a couple last time. Well, he got 3 last season.
Everybody else has, but he hasn't scored.
Yeah. Well, on the other flank, of course, Brandon Williams has already scored 2, hasn't he? So, having only been here a matter of weeks.
What's his space? Keep backing it.
I thought defensively they were good. Midfield too dominated Luongo and Morsey. However, I thought Morsey was really lucky not to get a second yellow card in the game.
Just outside the area.
Got to be careful.
Yeah, he needs to be careful. But had he got that yellow card, then he's off, and you never know what's going to happen. But got away with it. But I thought, and then up front we do create, and we talked about it last week, didn't we? With Eric Gates in behind the 2 strikers, because you've seen that sort of tactic. But we have 2 men in behind the striker, not the strikers.
Yeah.
So it works really well, because how many times do the balls get slotted through to Broadhead and Chaplin, and obviously Harness and everybody else that plays there? Hutchinson can play there. So it's a system that is really successful, hard to play against, and can be effective defensively and offensively as well.
Yeah, and I think George Hurst is leading the line really well at the moment. A little bit like Mauner used to do. You know, the collision he had with the goalkeeper in the second half, he'd only got eyes for one thing, and that was the football. And I like Paul in his day, you know, he knew he was going to get smashed by the goalkeeper. But that wouldn't even break his stride. That wouldn't even come into his mind, getting hurt.
I wonder if he likes heavy metal and whiskey as well.
We'll ask him the next press conference.
Yeah, ask him that.
But after the press conference afterwards, a lot of the national press really wanted to talk about Nathan Broadhead, because I think they've not really seen a lot of him. But I think he scored 4 in his last 5, I think, for club and country, and 3 in the championship. I think he's really kind of just sort of hit his straps now. I thought he started the season not slowly, but he was sort of drifting in and out of games, whereas now he's more... He's hit another level, I think.
What did Kieran say, Kieran McKenna?
He said he thinks he's got a long way to... Even though he's 25, he's a player that he says he's still got a lot of development, whereas a lot of other players might have had 7 years under their belt at this point in their career. He's still on his way through, and he thinks he's got a long way to go. He said, I don't really know how far he can go, so I think he thinks...
I think in possession of the ball is very positive. He gets it, wants to go forward, wants to try and make something happen. It's good.
Keith, you watched it last night, did you, on the telly?
Yes, the last 5 minutes. Keep having to watch the time, quick. 89 minutes, come on. How many minutes overtime or entry time or whatever you call it, added time? 6 minutes. You just keep watching it, don't you? 93, 94, come on. Get it up the other end. But my wife has to go upstairs and watch Murder, She Wrote or something like that. You know, and me and my daughter, we sit there and shout when I was a nightmare. I jump all over the place. But... you know, it's just we're just on such a great.
It's great times, isn't it? And we just need to enjoy it. Hopefully, it's going to last a very long time. But we just need to enjoy it and go for the ride, don't we?
Well, why can't it keep going?
Yeah.
I mean, there's always teams that get on a good run. Doesn't matter what sport, winning becomes a habit, and so does losing.
Yeah.
So at the moment, it'd be nice. I mean, obviously, you're looking at December. We've got Leeds, Leicester, Norwich. Sorry, Norwich a bit further down, isn't they? Well, we've got 2 big teams and that pub team down the road, but but them 3 games. I mean, local derbies are always going to be tough, but I mean that's 3 big games. But if we've got that gap, then that's them out the way and move on again.
Yeah, it's lovely looking at the table. I looked at one today and they disappeared, Dan. I couldn't see them. They were so far down. So
who's that, Mark? Who's that?
That pub team up the
Pub
road.
team down
They're on the next
Yeah.
page of CFAX, aren't they?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah. We will have to start deflating the canary that's above my head fairly soon, I think. 'Cause,
Yeah.
They are actually 14 points behind us,
I know.
and we've got a game in hand as well.
yeah.
Extraordinary.
Yeah.
You weren't going to mention that today, were you?
No, I wasn't going to mention
you
that.
weren't
But,
gonna mention that.
but it's really nice.
But 9 points ahead of Leeds, who are third, which is extraordinary.
And a
With a
game in
game in
hand.
hand,
Yeah,
it's
it's
extraordinary at this stage. I mean, I thought Leeds were starting to look a little bit ominous with their. I think they won 3 in a row and 4 out of 5. I think the only one they'd lost was Southampton, and then they went and lost last night to Stoke, didn't they?
Yeah, good old Daniel. He's doing a great job again up there. It's fantastic. Yeah, did a great job. He did a great job with Norwich, didn't he?
Hey. Let's bring it. Go on, Keith.
I actually did a corporate job near Norwich last week, and the guy who booked this, he's had £200 on Ipswich to do the double.
Oh.
Against Norwich. Now, I'm afraid I can't even put Norwich in my accumulator because I can't have them needing them to win. They'll never go in my football accumulator.
No.
If they played a blind school, I still wouldn't put them in. So it's like, and I said I would never bet on Norwich. I don't know how you can do it. But
Yeah, keep booing, by the way. I mean, it's,
don't worry, I
you
get
know.
a lot of stick. Just look on Twitter. It's payback time.
let's take you back, Keith. I think we've got a photograph of you up on our screen behind us. Should pop up in a moment or two. As a Chantry boy, you obviously spent a bit of time with Kevin Beattie.
That's right. Well, Chantry, Bunton Road, just a road across the road, was the Ipswich Townhouse. I mean, going back in the days, I was saying to Terry, we had Mick Hill, and then it was David Best, the goalkeeper, and then Kevin had the house. So a few times he'd give me a lift down to the ground and got to know Kevin really well. And I used to go and see him, and his knee would come up after a game. And, then he was going through some, really bad times. And in '83, he said to me, I'm selling my FA Cup medal, because times weren't good. So I said, well, I'll buy it off you, because I didn't want anybody else to have it. So I think I paid something like £20, and I put it in my drawer in Enfield Town for about 7 months. And I thought, and then he got on his feet, and he said, how much did you get for that? I went, I wasn't going anywhere. There was only one place that was going back to you, because I was there in '78. Sadly, I didn't go to the '81 because I didn't have any money, but I went to the cup final, and Kevin, to me, it just, well, you two know a lot better than I do, but they all say he would have got 100 England caps. I mean, I watched the documentary on Sir Bobby Charlton, the late Bobby Charlton, and they were saying about Duncan Edwards, and they were saying Kevin was as good as Duncan Edwards, and I just think that he was a great guy, an unbelievable footballer. And I remember once, I was a boy, that was a UEFA Cup match, and he banged on the away door, "You're so-and-so getting it." And I thought, you do it now, you'd be in trouble. But honestly, he was fantastic.
How much of that kind of thing went on, Butch? Because you're quite famous for kicking dressing room doors and the like, aren't you? Was there a bit of gamesmanship before matches?
No, never. No,
I've heard it said
we did a
that
bit.
78 was kind of one matches. You've won matches in the tunnel just by kind of intimidating the opposition.
Sometimes, yeah, more often than not. But it was great fun, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Really
you know,
lovely.
there's one or two other teams that fancied themselves as well in the tunnel, but we could hold our own, couldn't we? We could hold our own in the tunnel, in the players' lounge afterwards, and on the pitch.
Well, when you had the beat with you and Mariner as well, that was fine.
Yeah.
It was great. If
Big Al was
it
there as
turned
well.
into a scrap with a bit of Big Al,
Yeah.
If it turned into a scrap, you're happy with that.
Yeah.
But you obviously knew Beat as well as being a footballer, as someone who was living on Chantry as well. Very sociable, always time for people. Liked his beer, which we all know, but a thoroughly nice guy actually.
He was, but I just think we had one of the greatest footballers, I think, in England, easy. I mean, I always remember his goal for England against Scotland, when at the header, and but he just. I mean, when David Beckham got the goal from the halfway line, Kevin did that against Leeds. That was on the halfway line. So Beckham wasn't the first one really to do it. Kevin done it.
Did you see the free kick in the UEFA Cup against Bohemians when he hit that free kick? Came on as a sub.
Oh, well, yeah, Portman Road.
At Portman Road, yeah.
Oh.
Hit that free kick, and it was a good job there was a net, because it would have killed about 10 in the crowd when they went through.
Kevin came with us on an end of season trip one year. He'd been injured during the season, and they thought, be a good idea, get a bit of sun. And he came away with the youth team, and we went to Lorette de Mar. And Kevin was there to act as kit man, but just to have a good time. What a good example he was to the rest of the under-18s. Oh, my God.
He tried to jump out of a window, didn't he? He was in the room next door, but he decided to go out through the window and jump onto the balcony of his room, which was about 10 foot away, and we were 3 floors up. And he had a few beers, of course. A few beers turned him into Superman, and he thought he could do it. But we said, no, you can't do it. He was screaming at him, you can't do it. He tried and hold him back, and once his mind was made up, that was it. And we were like this. We did look, and he jumped it. We jumped it, cleared it easy, no problems at all. Night, boys. Off he went, and we were like, like this. Oh my God, what got away with that? What got away with that?
You were a ball boy. I think we've got a picture of you as a ball boy coming up in a moment or two. But this is a picture of you with some of the team from '81. There's Maras, Brazil, France. I think Russ, you're down in the bottom.
Is that Soccer 6 or something like that?
Jeans on. Sorry.
Is that Soccer 6 or something like that?
I think it must have been a six-a-side tournament that we won somewhere down the line.
No, that was. Obviously, when I won it, to take it on the trophy actually.
So it was '83 you won, wasn't
83,
it?
83, and the trophy was in Croydon, the Jewellers in the town centre for about 3 months. But before that, I was asked to take it on the pitch. I couldn't wait. So you always everyone wanted to be a footballer. I'd watch Sabuti if it was on TV. So, but and that game, I think you won about 4-0 because it was about 20-3. And I was in Paul Maron. I said, I better go now. Paul went, we'll beat these, they're rubbish. And it was just what it was like. And when I took round the pitch, even the away fans were cheering me because obviously they weren't liking Eric too much. So I had a lot of support. But to go on the pitch like that, it's just a dream, isn't it?
Take us through the winning of that World Championship title, because I can remember it, and I was so pleased that a boy from Chantry, no disrespect to Chantry, but a boy from Chantry was up here, winning the World Darts title. It was incredible. We just were like gobsmacked,
It's right. It was just I was really confident because I'd won the Los Angeles Open, and I'd beat John Lowe, Bob Anderson, Bobby George. So I was going to the tournament really well. I had to go to London for playoffs. And I had to play a guy from Spain to first round. Well, there wasn't any dartboards in Spain, so that was 9-0. And then I had a guy called Len Hurd from America who was really a good dart player, and I beat him 9-1. And then I had the Scotland number 2 to get through, and I beat him 9-0. So I was going into it really full of confidence. And I always remember that I had to play, Eric's father, George, every time I was playing, he'd come in 15 minutes before, and he'd say, how'd you feel, Keith? I went, well, I'm beaten. The number 7... Nicky Vrashko, I was working in a pub in Whetstone, and they all come in the year before, and he couldn't knock me off the board. And I thought, well, that's one out of the way. So then he would come in the next round. Then I had John Lowe in the quarters. He went, how'd you feel? I went, this is where the big seed's going. Bye-bye. And it carried on. Then it was Jockey in the semis, and then Eric in the final. And I realised afterwards, Eric told me that his dad was betting on me all the time. So he said, you couldn't get better. He said, every time I went in there, he was just so confident. But you got to be confident. I just thought, when I played Eric in the final, when we got to the semis, if I reached the final, then we were doing 3 sets in Grandstand, because Grandstand and World of Sport were the 2 big programs. So we had to do, and it was weird because that was at 2:30, and then you had to carry on doing the final at 7:15, I think it was, or 6:15. Yeah, 6:15. And I thought, right, 2-1 either way, it's game on. 3-0 either way, it's game over. And I was 2 sets up, and then Eric had a brilliant 3rd set. And then we had the break, and I thought, I'm happy with that. And then I said to Terry O'Day and John Lowe that were in the studio, I said, I'll win 6-3. He won't get 4 sets. And I had 7 darts at the double to win 6-3. And I always remember, I was 64, I went 16-16, hit 7-7 right in the corner. I went back, and I could see my lip was going... But I had time because I knew I was world champion. And then I missed, and then I put 3 on the wire. He then won that set and laughed. He went to like this. And then the next set I lost 3-0. My head had gone. So it was 5 sets all. And I then lost the first leg when it was my throw. And I was in trouble then. I don't know why. I just said to myself, you ain't done this for nothing. And then I think I went 12, 15, 12, which was like averaging about 110. And then we got to the last leg. Eric left 121 after 9, and I left 138. And he went 17, treble 18, which he got the bullseye to make it 2 legs all, and he didn't go for it. And I went treble 20, treble 18, double 12, and won the world title.
But
so
did he think that because you'd missed early on to win it, that you were rocking sort of thing? So that's why he sort of played safe.
He thought my bottle was gone basically, and
he was called the crafty Cockney, but by doing that, he was the dafty Cockney, really, wasn't he?
Well, he was. There was a.
I've worked hard on that.
You're on fire tonight, Butch.
But I actually played him at the Ipswich Corn Exchange 3 months later, and we'd done the same final again, and same format, and it was 5 sets all, 1 leg all, and I went 138 again, and he went, you so and so, and then when he was in Tenerife, a bus came round. It was 138 on the bus. He went, I'll get the next one. He wouldn't get on it. So it's weird, but the only thing he said to me, they said, what did he say when you won? He said, enjoy the trophy because it's mine again next year. And it was. He won the next 3 years.
But your life must have changed because you weren't terribly well known, were you, at that point?
I was to the dart players, but not to the public. Yeah. I mean, the betting shop at the Chantry Estate, I think I was 100 to 1, and they were all putting £10 on. So they lost about 25,000, which...
Did the beat put £10 on?
I don't know. I hope so. But, I mean, it was just... I mean, I was borrowing money off the officials in that week. I had no money. I didn't have a job. Won the tournament, and 3 months later, I was buying a house in London with a swimming pool. And that was the difference.
But the media side of it, I mean, that must have been quite a shock to the system.
Well, it was hard because it was all the TV tournaments. All the press and then going on TV shows, which I really wasn't comfortable, to be honest. And the problem is I wanted to play darts again because I wanted to win the next tournament. And I actually did win the next one. That was the Double Diamond Masters. The final was on World of Sport. And it's just full of confidence because you have to go through different areas. And I did go through London, which was the hardest one. It was like winning the tournament. And I just signed a big brewery deal. And I had an interview with Alan Parry in Leicester, the commentator. And I got to London about 7:15, and I was on at 7 o'clock. And I dropped 1 leg all night and didn't hardly have a drink. Just absolutely blitzed it. And then Eric was in the semis. And I was in the semis. I had a guy called Timothy Gould, and he had Mike Gregory, who was an up-and-coming... I think he was provisionally 5 in the world at the time. And I had a good draw because I just signed a contract, and the draw come my way. We don't want to say nothing else, but... and then it was just very handy, that was. And then Eric got beat. And that day, they have the Nations Cup, which is... 3-man team, and that's on TV in the afternoon, but you don't get any money. So I won the £3,000, which it was then, and the trophy. And as I walked past Eric, John Lowe, and Cliff Lazarenko, and I said, I'm never going to watch you while you play for nothing. See you later, boys. Didn't like it.
Is it right that Double Diamond works wonders?
Oh, it did. Yeah. It did that year.
So would you have a drink? Would you be drinking or in between? Because darts players were in hand. I don't know if they do now.
All right.
All right.
They all drink. Don't worry about that. I mean, it's different now because, I mean, darts has come from a pub. You know, you've played it. Everyone's played it at a game of darts. There's a dartboard there. You don't have to be any good. You'll have a go, have a throw. And that's what it was. But in our day, you know, I mean, I've never smoked, but, you know, you got the drinking and smoking. And that really did push everything back. Because the only time I think we really got appreciation properly was when Phil Taylor came on board, the way he was winning everything. But, yeah, there is drink. But the thing is, you can't have too much to drink because it's not, I mean, I always say if you had 3 pints in a pub, the third one you'd start to feel it. But if you're playing in a darts tournament, the adrenaline, you haven't even had one. And it's just getting... Jockey was the hardest one to get it right. I mean, Jockey would really struggle. I mean, he would drink a bottle of vodka, and that was all right. So you just try to get him a few more in him. So you just get him over the edge. But, you know, I mean, Eric Bristow, we had a tournament in Japan, and Eric, we were not allowed to drink. So we had to sort of stay in your hotel room and say, right, you're on in 10 minutes, and you go down and play your match. And he was in the final against a guy called Russell Stewart. It was 29, I mean, this is 86, 29,000, 42,000 the winner, and I think it was like 18,000 runner-up. Well, this guy, Russell Stewart, Aussie, used to drink a lot. So what Eric did, he was sharing with Mike Gregory. He said, right, Mike, he said, go and get treble Jack Daniels and Coke and get me a Coke. So he'd done that. Eric went, look, I'm just glad we're both in the final. Cheers. He went, go and do it again. Go and do it again. So he'd done it about 3 times. Were you ready to play? Russell Stewart went, what ball be on? Eric went, that didn't cost too much, did it? He's always like, you had to watch Eric. He was a crafty so-and-so. But, a lot of them do. Big Cliff Lazarenko, he was a big lad. And he was playing a tournament in Ireland. And he knocked his head. Well, Cliff would like about 25 pints of Strongbow before he played. And he's still the same. And he knocked his head. They said, you better go to the hospital just to get a checkup. He went to the hospital. And the doctor said, what happened? He said, well, I just hit my head. He said, have you had how much to drink? He went, no. He said, I've only had about 15 pints. He went, well, he said, no, I ain't got going yet. But he never changed. I always call him Norm from Cheers. You just always see him at the corner of a bar. Like, everyone knew Cliff. But no, it's just the culture, what it is.
I think that's what we had in common, footballers and darts players. We used to celebrate, but we didn't actually drink when we were playing,
no.
to be honest. although some of us tried, that must be true.
Wasn't there a thing about milk as well with you?
Well, what happened there was that because we had to play 3 sets in the afternoon, I didn't want to eat. I only had 2 pieces of toast for breakfast, so I thought, I don't want to eat nothing now because you start getting lazy. So we finished the final about 7:45. And I went in the press room. There must have been about 100 people there. It was mad. And all of a sudden, my stomach was rumbling and getting empty. And they brought me a pint of beer. And I said, oh, God, no. I said, you couldn't get me a pint of milk, could you? I just needed something in me because that's a horrible feeling where you need to have something. And they all said, oh, the Milky Bar kid. But he wasn't a very good-looking kid, was he? It wasn't a good start, was it? But it's... and that's how it came about. We tried to get on the milk advert because there was a couple of footballers do it, a lot of bottled. Remember, there was an advert, a milk advert. We tried to get on that, but it didn't happen. But it's just weird, isn't it, that the press soon jumped on it. Yeah.
It turned your life around, didn't it? Absolutely turned your life around.
Well, it has really. Because when you think now, it's 40 years ago, and I'm still doing exhibitions. I'm still going around the world, still playing darts.
Sat here now.
Yeah, still here. After another Ipswich victory.
Where does this rank then, Keith, amongst your highlights of your career?
If we go up, it's going to be right up there. Which I think we've got a great chance, But I'm watching. But I'm disappointed last week when the game was called off because I was doing a corporate job at Sheffield Wednesday Football Ground and Ipswich were 2 miles down the road. And I was just waiting for the Sheffield Wednesday fans to come along. But, I'm at West Brom in a couple of weeks, so that's their turn. They're next.
So you do fly the flag for town on social media and at your events then, do you?
Oh, God. If you see my Twitter, I've upset Bristol City fans a day, Sheffield Wednesday fans a day. Well, they keep saying, well, you're not that good. I thought, well, we keep winning. You don't. You're not that good either, are you? And then someone said, a Wednesday fan went, you'll still go down. I said, you're already down. What are you worried about? And then I get... Never rated you as a dart player and all this, but the Norwich is my best ones. Oh, God, they're so easy. I know, but they are so easy to wind up. I did Epic Studios. There was 900 people. There was Phil Taylor playing, real good names. And me and Eric Bristow had to play 2 games before everybody else, before they do a match play. 900. And the walk-on went like this. Wow. You never see so many Norwich shirts here for a start. And as they done the walk-on, he went, he's a tractor boy. Wow. And as they were calling me so many bad names, I went, you've got no history. No history. That's all I kept saying. And Kevin Painter was there that night. Well, Kevin should never done what he did. He decides to play his game and then walk out and have a chat with the crowd. 30 seconds later, a pint of lager straight in his face, which we thought was funny. I didn't go out at all. I just stayed there.
You're right. They have no history, do they?
No history.
No history whatsoever. I think that's the way it should stay. The natural order is being restored. That's what I like to think it is. Look, I think we actually have we got the picture of Keith as a ball boy. Have we got that? No, we haven't got that, unfortunately. No. But you. How did that come about?
I think just. My mum and dad must have sort of put it in there. Can you be? There's another ball boy there, was Colin Kreiderwolf, and he's always in the director's box.
Colin Criderwolf was a ball boy.
Yeah, he was the one with the blonde hair, blonde-headed one out the
Well, I think I've seen him at Ipswich. He sits behind us in the Premier Lounge, and he was a ball boy.
He was the one in the blonde hair.
Yeah, but then. I mean, I always when he came into the room, I thought he had a few match balls underneath his jersey. But he's a lovely man, Colin. I must say, he's a lovely man.
Is indeed.
Yeah, so what era were you?
Well, I was born 59, so it'd been about 72, 71.
So just as Beat was getting into the team then?
Yeah, Kevin was in the team, yeah. I mean, it was brilliant. I mean, I had to clean George Best boots because at that time, if any of the players come in, even if it was the Ipswich lads, you had to clean the football boots. And I also got Mick Jones number 10 on the tags on the socks. So, I mean, look, football is your heroes, isn't it? I mean, I couldn't believe it, just sitting that close. The only time you didn't want to sit, place you didn't want to sit was two, really. The North Stand, the away end, because you got crisp bags full of dirt whacking you on the head every 2 seconds. And then where the players come out, well, it was Ralph Ramsey. If a ball went over, before we got the higher stadium there, if the ball went over, you had to go and get it. So you thought, please don't kick it over, because you're going to miss a goal, you know?
Well, you were lucky that the crisp packets were filled with just dirt.
I think they were dirt, hopefully.
It was the era when I went to my first game. It was Town versus Middlesbrough. My brother took me in the old North Stand, and I'd never been to a football match before, and it was segregated home and away. Yeah. And on the right-hand side were the home fans, and over the left-hand side, the away fans. And I stood there, and there were darts flying across. It wasn't you, was it?
No, I'm not that good at the time.
Coins, urine being thrown across in buckets and things like that. It was a pretty hostile atmosphere, wasn't it? So you experienced that as a ball boy as well.
Yeah, because it's all dirt between where they stand, and you just another one's hit me. So, but it was always London clubs or Liverpool. Liverpool were bad, but I always remember the goal, Mick Mills, FA Cup. It didn't even hit the net, did it? It just went over the line. I thought, yeah, go on, bye-bye. But no.
Did you celebrate when you were a ball boy? When you scored? Oh, you did?
Yeah, you got to. You can't help it, can you?
That's why you were fair game then.
Yeah.
So it's your fault, really, I tell you. Yeah. Or our fault, because we scored a goal.
Oh, yeah, you can't. You got to, haven't you? I mean, I'm bad enough. I mean, I've just come back on holiday from Hawaii and Vegas, and my wife went, right, I said, I've got to get, what's the time? 10-hour difference, right. I said, I'm getting up at 6 to put the alarm on because the Ipswich game's on. Don't you wake me up? Well, I'm afraid I did because we scored. Not happy. But then we went to Vegas, and then the time zone again. But I watch them all. Can't miss them.
It's interesting. There's a lot of similarities between the sports. You know, when you're talking about performing well, winning. Ipswich were winning well at that time. You were winning. The Speedway were doing very well as well, weren't they, Ipswich Witches? So there's a lot of kind of shared experiences together between the sports. Fabio Wardley, for instance, is a big Town fan now, isn't he? Doing well with the boxing. And it's nice to see the sports sort of mingling, and there's that appreciation of each other, I think.
Exactly. I mean, the Speedway have had a fantastic season. I mean, unlucky not to win the one against Sheffield, but I mean, it's just we all love our club, don't we?
I think we've got a picture of Keith as the ball boy. There we go.
Oh, there he is.
So that's Colin on the right, Colin Criderwolf.
Colin top
the
right.
The blonde-haired lad.
Still got the same haircut, Colin.
He has, yeah. Wow. If he'd sat on the ball now, he'd probably burst it. But
and those are the match balls. That's what we used to play with.
Yeah, I mean, Colin's a lovely
I wouldn't
guy.
go on Saturday if I were you. No,
but no, it's brilliant.
Look at those match balls, though, Mark.
Yeah. I know. I'm looking also at the pitch. Doesn't look that great.
Training balls, match balls, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like medicine balls in those days, weren't they?
God. No wonder.
Used to try and head those balls.
Oh, dear.
Scary.
Quite scary.
But for a kid, I mean, that's what you want to be, ball boy. And we had to do the scores first. So you had to do your apprentice for a year. You put the scores up at half time. And they were a nightmare, they were. But you had to look through a little hole, watch a game. But and then once after the year, you get you're a ball boy next year.
So you didn't have an electronic scoreboard in those days?
No, they were definitely not electronic, no. But what was the score of that one?
So you got promoted.
Promoted
to be a ball boy.
That's right.
Well done,
Russell, that's what happened.
Promotion,
and,
Pullman Road.
Do your apprentice first. But
Richard, our technician here, he was a ball boy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to. We can't say the word abuse, but we used to have fun and games with the ball boys. Just to come in and kick a ball at them and all that sort of thing as well.
Yeah.
And there were many other things which I can't possibly describe.
Is that Mickey Page down the bottom left? Mickey Page.
I think it is, yeah. Funny enough, yeah.
It's a great picture. I mean, it's a fantastic picture. It kind of sums up the era really well, doesn't it? It really does.
It looks like the Bee Gees, doesn't it? The Bee Gees, isn't it?
The before.
Before.
Gone wrong.
Fantastic. And that led to a lifelong passion for Ipswich Town.
Yeah, I only had my scarf taken once, but I got it back. It was a Leeds fan as I come out of the Portman Road. Give us your scarf, because that's what you used to do. You used to get people's scarves, and he tried to grab it off me. I got hit, but didn't get it. No, that's my scarf. But no, it's what it is. I mean, that's your club, and if it's good or bad, you just got to keep supporting your team. But now we're in good times. Let's hope we keep it.
Did you wear town shirts when you were playing darts?
No.
Or did you have your space? You had the sponsors on there as well, didn't you? But
yeah, you're not allowed to wear football shirts, or you're not even allowed to wear football shirts to go to watch the darts. But when I go on holiday, they're always on, and I always put it on Twitter. Ipswich Town on tour. I mean, I was at the Boston Red Sox. The actual road is called Ipswich. So when we were there, because we had a look round, which is boring. But we got there. I went, hold on, Ipswich, quick, get the camera out. But you're not allowed, but no football shirts. But I do wear them like TV events, like in a couple of weeks' time. Go down to breakfast. Oh God, here he comes.
Well, it's good to see you flying the flag like that. And you're fit and healthy, doing okay?
All good,
You're not carrying any injuries or anything?
No injuries.
No, that's good news.
I've been pretty good.
That's good news, Keith, because it is time for our Keep It Up Challenge, sponsored by Ginger Pickles.
Is it?
Yeah, Here we go. So here we go. Look, we've actually got a ball for you, Keith. Okay, this is the one. This is the one to use. So it's a proper Ipswich Town football. So if you'd like to go over into our performance area over there.
Can I just show you my volley years ago?
Get over in the corner there. Mind all the screens. We're a bit worried about the screens.
What's my bit?
So you've got 60 seconds to do as many keepy-uppies as you possibly can. Okay, so there's the leaderboard. Okay, so Terry's got 3, but
you got to beat that. Easy.
You got to beat that. So Terry's gonna keep time, and Phil, you've got the whistle. Okay, are we ready to keep score, capacity crowd? Yep. So come forward, keep the score, because I think this is going to be a big one. It's going to be 180. Here we go. Are you ready?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, he's equal Terry Butcher.
That's it.
That's it. No. 3, 4.
No, it's too late.
No, it's too late. Come on, Keith. Give him a round of applause, everybody. Well done. You are on the leaderboard, Keith.
Am I last?
Oh no, because some couldn't do it. George didn't do it, did he? So David Sheepshanks didn't do it.
So they got a big fat 0.
Yeah, big fat 0. Who are Cole Skews? 3.
No, I thought it was 2, but there we are.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
3?
At least
It was 3.
I think
it
it's 2 in a tackle.
Don't argue with the crowd.
at least I'm level with a world champion, so I'm quite happy with that. Yes, get in there.
You are both the strongest people keeping the rest of us up, which is good. Don't forget, if you are watching on YouTube, to subscribe and to like the page for us if you could. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. Don't be frightened. It just helps us to keep the channel going. And don't forget, you can check out our website as well, lifesapitch.tv. We've got a big event coming up at the Willow Suite at Venue 16 on the 30th of November, raising money for cancer campaign in Suffolk and also the Ipswich Town Ex-Players Association. And also on lifesapitch.tv, you can buy your own mugs and T-shirts. And actually, if you look behind me, Ed is modelling. Here he is. Go on, Ed. Where are you? There. Woo, look. There he is, modelling one of our shirts. And so is Ted Lasso over in the corner, look. So you can get those from lifesapitch.tv. And we hope very much to see you on the 30th of November. All got your tickets? Yes. Good. Excellent. Could do with a few more. We've got some special guests here today because we've got a big flag up here to represent town fans supporting food banks, and they're collecting money again this weekend at Ipswich Town. So Charlie Nixon's here. Come on, Charlie, come right up to the microphone. Give him a big round of applause.
Good evening.
Great to see you, Charlie. Lovely retro shirt there. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
So how did this all come about? Because you started last season, didn't you?
Yeah, we started January last season. So Fan Support and Food Banks is a national network. We're almost like an Ipswich branch of it. It operates across about 56 clubs across the country. Started in Liverpool between Everton and Liverpool fans. The idea at premise is hunger doesn't wear club colours. It doesn't matter what class, colour, creed, gender you are. Everyone's going to face poverty at some point, particularly when the cost of living crisis is so bad at the moment. So the idea is to put football rivalries aside and come together once a month, if not more regularly if we can, and collect money for a good cause.
And the cause is Find, isn't it?
Yeah, so we work closely and we raise money for Find, the food bank in Ipswich. So all the money and all the food that's raised on our collection days goes straight to Find.
Yeah, and that really does go to people that really, really need it. So you take monetary donations as well as food, do you?
Yeah. So mainly, we like to collect food because it's tangible items. It can go directly to the people who need it, but money goes a long way as well. Money goes to upkeep of Find, their resources. Maureen speaks to me regularly. Last month she asked me if she could use the money she had a Sri Lankan family that's just moved to Ipswich, if she could buy the kids, some refugees, the kids some toys and stuff. And yeah, absolutely. So that's all the stuff. It's to make sure that people in Ipswich who have experienced poverty are comfortable and welcomed.
So anybody coming to the match on Saturday can come and see you. Whereabouts will you be?
Yeah, so we're in the fan zone and we're by the Bobby Robson statue. We're there every month, and you can see on our Twitter when our collections are. We get 29,000 people a month now. Yeah, a match, to Portman Road. If everyone bought a couple of quid, everyone has a loose change pot in their house. If everyone emptied that out once a month and brought it to us, what difference can we make for our community? Because we love the town and we love the club, and football fans.
Fantastic what you're doing. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So please dig deep if you're going to the match on Saturday. Charlie, thanks for coming along.
No worries.
What do you think? First time on Life's a Pitch in the capacity crowd?
Brilliant. I mean, I've been watching this since you started, and yeah, it's a dream come true to be here. It really is.
Thanks, Charlie.
We like him. We like Charlie. Thumbs up, Charlie.
You come again, Charlie.
Thank you.
Bless
Well
your
done,
heart.
Charlie.
Thank you,
Great
and to your team as well, because I know you've got
Cheers,
others
yeah.
helping you too.
Yeah, I'll be looking out for you on Saturday.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'll
Thank
see you
you.
there, back at the ground on Saturday. Time for our Ipswich Town News in brief, sponsored by John Keeble Cars of Bramford, with Phil Ham from twtd.co.uk.
Forgot the hat.
You did, but we haven't forgot the hat because you were presented a hat the other week, weren't you? And you looked a bit like, with your blue shirt and your red hat, you looked a little bit like Paddington Bear, didn't you?
Apparently so. Yeah.
What a shame you've forgotten the hat tonight, but we haven't forgotten that you look like Paddington Bear, and we haven't forgotten that it was your birthday this week.
Oh. Thank you very much.
You can do better than that, come on.
Oh, you've not got me a marmalade sandwich.
Oh, don't get carried away.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Paddington. Happy birthday to you.
And as you've
Thank
got a
you very
little
much.
library up there, you've got a couple of Beats books up
I
in
have,
front of
yeah.
you. I think if we pass this along the line, and Russ, maybe you could give that to Phil. It's a little book of Paddington Bear that you can display.
Is it first edition?
No, it's not first edition. No.
Not eBay yet.
So I think you can pop that just up
Thank
on
you very
your
much.
It was
Oh,
actually
delightful.
on your bar.
I think it was actually published in Peru, wasn't it?
Yes. It's darkest.
Especially for you.
Thank you very much. That's most.
Yeah, well, don't read it now. We're on the.
No, carry
Oh,
on.
sorry,
Come on.
have I got
We're
We're
on the
busy now,
YouTube
Phil.
and on the
Back to
podcast,
work,
so you can
come on.
keep that. You have some news in brief for us.
I have news in brief. Well, I think kind of obviously the big news is we're just fantastic, aren't we? It's just extraordinary. But Wes Burns, good news on him last night from Kieran McKenna at his press conference. The specialist says surgery on his shoulder injury is looking less likely and could be back by the next international break, which is a positive, isn't it? Because I think there was fears that he'd require surgery and be out for months. But as someone was saying, that we don't seem to miss players at the moment because the squad's so strong. Last night we were sort of talking about who might come in for Wes Burns, and I think a lot of people expected Amari Hutchinson to come in, but Caden Jackson came in instead, and then we got sort of other options. Marcus Harness, the squad is so strong. But having said that, I think Wes Burns coming back would be would add to that strength, and Freddie Ladapo is probably back for Saturday after his Achilles injury, so that's another positive. And every match, I think new records just keep being achieved or keep kind of emerging, or someone will post them on Twitter or a journalist will mention it. I think someone told me, a guy, Chris Rand told me the other day, that this is our best performance at this stage of the season in the second tier, and the previous best was the 60-61 second division title winning season under Sir Alf Ramsey.
Do you know, I sometimes think people have got too much time on their hands.
Yeah,
I know. To
work
these things out.
This is extraordinary, isn't it? And the other record he told me was that I think only in the history of in the history of the second tier from 1882-83 season to the present campaign up to the 11th match, which was obviously prior to yesterday, only 16 teams would have recorded more points than Town had after 11 games, taking it as 3 points for a win. Yeah, which is remarkable, really, isn't it? When you think you're going back 150 years or whatever. So I think
we'll all remember that stat tonight.
yeah, I'm sure you will. Yeah. But I mean, we've 31 points now, the same as we had in 2018-19 in the entire season, and we've done it before the end of October. It's extraordinary. And the stat that was going around last night was first promoted team in any of the top 4 divisions to start a season with 10 wins in their opening 12 matches, and also the fastest promoted side to get 10 wins in a season. Remarkable, really. Away unbeaten, league record up to 15. We've won 26 of our last 30 matches, if you include the Reading game, which we won on penalties. Remarkable, really. And every match, someone puts one of these stats to Kieran McKenna, and he says, we're not really bothered by that. It's the sort of thing you look back on in your dotage and whatever. But, it makes for a good copy and 2 minutes of news in brief. And
fills a gap, doesn't it?
And the third kit was released last night based on...
Wait. We have one here. We have one. James, come up to the microphone, James.
As modelled by James.
Well done, James. Give us a twirl. Very good. Just step up to that microphone. Come right up close. Closer. So you went to the ground and got this today?
Yeah, lunchtime today. Yeah, and just nipped down to the ground.
Big queues, or was it okay?
No. It was busy. Lots of kids there. Being half term.
Yeah.
But it's quite easy to get a shirt today. So
yeah, well,
do they not have your size in at all?
Well, this is a kid's size.
Oh, the kid's size. Right, yeah.
We don't need Wes Burns to model it when we've got James to model it. What do you think of it, boys?
Brilliant.
Very good.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
But it is based on a kit that you wore, isn't it? In 81-82.
Yeah. It apart from the bit that goes across the middle, what do we have? Pioneer. Was it in those days?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Pioneer.
Yeah, but great. I think the badge looks fantastic. I think it's a great kit.
Yeah, because the badge is retro, isn't it, with the yellow around the outside?
Yeah, really good.
Which I think is much the better badge, don't we think?
What do you think, everybody? Do we like it? Yeah.
We had the choice of white shorts, though, at times.
Right.
And white socks, so I'm not sure what's the combination. So it's white top, black shorts.
Yeah, that's what.
White or
white
black
socks. White socks with the black topping on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks
Smart.
very good.
Yeah.
Smart.
It's almost as nice as our Life's a Pitch shirts, as modelled by Ted Lasso and
terrific,
Ed Sheeran.
And the Town had the plan to at Rotherham. They were going to wear the kit at Rotherham, and the players were going to walk out, and then the first reveal was going to be them taking their tracksuits off, and Sky were going to play ball, obviously, and sort of focus in on them, and kind of which was a really good idea, wasn't it? I think, and it's just a shame that the game was called off, but I think they'll do well. Perhaps not as well as the black kit last year, which I think kind of was something special. I think that kind of was the Ed Sheeran connection, obviously, kind of helped on that as well. But I still think they'll do quite well.
I think that would be a good kit to wear if you're going on holiday somewhere.
Yes,
in the sun.
It's a holiday kit.
Yeah, it is,
yeah, sort of for leisure wear.
Yeah.
I get you. Yeah.
I think did we have one game in it? One game.
We played 2, I think, in the end, didn't we? We played Derby, was it? And
that's not. For me, it's not a match shirt at all. That's a casual shirt.
The black
one.
one.
Yeah,
the
but
black
then
one,
James's shirt, the new shirt with the rounded collar. I prefer rounded collars than actual collars. But
how did you feel as players when kind of they gave you kits? Were you not that bothered generally, or things like collars?
Well, we were Adidas, so most of the Adidas kits were good anyway, weren't
As long as it had a number between 1 and 11 on the back, we were quite happy.
Right.
If it had a higher number, like number 12, we were not happy at all. And if you had to sit in a stand, we were fuming. Yeah. So any shirt with any number on was good.
Yeah. And don't swap them, whatever you do.
No, don't swap them. Trevor Curtin needs to go mad.
Especially when there's 3 points next to it every
Excellent.
time.
Yeah,
That's all we
fantastic.
need, you know. But
Brilliant.
yeah, lovely kit. I mean, I like this. I like the blue.
I mean, at the moment, you know, it doesn't matter what it looks like. We're all going to love it and going to buy it, aren't we? Because of the way the club's going at the moment. Everything is just so positive and going forward. But that does look really smart.
As long as we don't have a Man United grey, because they never won a
don't.
game, did they?
Yeah.
It was horrible, weren't it? All yellow and green. Cannot have any yellow and green near any shirts. I tell you. So I do these corporate nights, and it's a company. You have to put ribbons, yellow and green. And I said, no, you're going to have to put them on. They went, so I get the trophy for them, because I get, a nice one for them. And then they put the ribbons on, because it's their colours. I ain't putting them on, sorry.
Good man.
No.
Good man.
I don't even like peas and sweet corn on the same plate together. I think
Exactly.
that's so badly wrong.
No.
Was there anything else, Phil, or was that your news in brief?
That's my news in brief.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We are going to go back in time, though, because it's time for Russ to take us back into Ipswich Town history, sponsored by Fred Olsen Logistics.
Our reading today, Mark, is taken from Thursday the 20th.
Well, it looks like you got a white dog collar on there with your white shirt on underneath.
Does a bit, doesn't it?
Reverend Osman.
Yes, don't interrupt the Padre. You should know better. You got told off before from interrupting Patricia the other day.
I did.
Yes, you did. Yeah, behave. Yes, Thursday the 26th of October 1950. Bobby Bell, born on this day in Cambridge, was a centre-back signed by Bill McGarry as backup for Town legend Bill Baxter. Bell, who played 37 games for Ipswich, never really established himself at Portman Road and had the dubious honour of being Norwich City's first loan signing. Boo. Well, there you go, Bobby Bell.
So we
Be
bring the
ashamed of
changes in.
yourself. Also on Tuesday the 26th of October 1982, fullback Michael Mills, better known as Mickey or Skip or Captain or
Bomber.
Something
Yeah,
else,
Bomber. Yeah, or something else. Fullback Mickey Mills made his farewell 741st appearance in Town colours as the Blues crashed out of the League Cup second round 4-1 on aggregate at Anfield to Liverpool. And that is your readings for today from the 26th of October.
Very good.
Fantastic.
Very
Yeah, what a great servant to the club Mick was.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Still is.
Still is
So
with
does
the
his-
club and
Norwich,
everything.
Norwich have got a book like that, but there's nothing written in it at all. And it's a big book as well.
Love it.
Oh, love it. We're out of time, unfortunately. You can do better than that, can't you? We're out of time.
Yeah.
Thank you. Keith, it's been great to reminisce with you today, and good luck with your travels and your matches that you're still playing, those exhibition matches and everything. You still enjoying it? Still enjoying your darts, the arrows?
Love it. I still like playing because, I'm nearly 64 now, so when I turn up, I've got one tomorrow night at Faversham Football Club. They think, he shouldn't be too hard to beat now. But it's still nice to put some of these youngsters back in their place. So it's getting harder, mind you. It's getting a lot harder.
Bless you.
We'll still love you when you're 64, mate, don't worry.
Yeah. But I just still love playing. That's the game that I loved to play as a kid, and I still like playing. I practiced today for an hour. 6 180s. That was not bad for me. So, and I got Russ Bray
Just
tomorrow.
drop that in 6 180s. Yeah.
Well, I got Russ Bray refereeing tomorrow because they all want to hear 180 from Russ. So I said, I got 6 here today in an hour. He went, don't waste them, boy. The pressure's on tomorrow.
Keith Deller, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. That is it, boys. We're looking forward to being back at Portman Road on Saturday, and I'm looking forward to being back at Portman Road on Saturday as well.
Be there.
Really looking forward to that. We'll be back next week, and our special guest beamed in all the way from Canada next week will be Mr. Craig Forrest. Whoa. So it'll be great to hear what Craig's up to these days. Also, don't forget, check us out on our socials. That's Facebook, Instagram, and X, all there for you. And lifesapitch.tv if you want to buy mugs, or those lovely shirts as modelled by our special guest, Ted Lesso. and Ed Sheeran behind us. They're all on lifesapitch.tv. Tickets for our big show on the 30th of November, selling really well, so only a few left, so snap those up. That's it for today. Don't forget, watch us on YouTube. If you subscribe, that helps us. Like the page as well. And thank you to our sponsors, our main sponsor, DPS Tech, also supported by All About Hearing, marketing company Ginger Pickle, Forward Floors, Come Hither Design, the Hudson Group, Sound 4 Pro Audio, Fred Olsen Logistics, John Keeble Cars in Bramford, and now the Dove in St Helens Street in Ipswich. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Capacity Crowd. We'll see you next week. And up the town, everybody. Up the town. Up the town.